It's a very special day. The breeze took the clouds all away. It swept the sky like a broom and got ready for a very special day. This is a very special time.
We're going to jump right in here. We got a full packed house this morning, and in the studio with me, I do want to start off, of course, my co-host on Fridays. And we have Laura Lee. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Miss Becky.
And in the studio, we have Master Sergeant Andrew Bush. I got it.
Good morning.
Yes, I need more coffee over here. Well, I wanted to make sure I got the Major Sergeant right. Focusing on that, and thank you for your service for sure. And by phone, we do have Holly Lawson with us from Hoosiers Help. And good morning, Holly.
Good morning, Becky.
Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm going to have Laura thank our sponsors first.
Yes, we want to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Box Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Purley Wealth Management.
All right, we're going to jump right in. Holly, you are no stranger to this program because you do so much. And Hoosier Helps, you guys are rock stars, and you know I'm a big fan of you guys and all that you do for the community, and we've seen you guys. And tell us a little bit about what's going on now.
Yeah, so thanks as always for having me on, Becky. I always appreciate your support and all the things that we get into. So this weekend, it's a little unique. We have the family of Cairo Jordan, who unfortunately was the little boy that was found in our community back in April. His family will be here this weekend at Southern Hills Church to just have a quick little prayer service and, pay their respects and kind of start the healing process. So Hoosier Helps was able to kind of help coordinate, get the family here, and kind of help them get on that path to healing.
So when did Hoosiers Help, did you contact them or did they contact you?
So we kind of felt led. It was kind of one of those Holy Spirit things. We kind of just felt led to reach out to the family, and turned out they were already kind of planning a trip anyway. So whether we call that coincidence or kind of just the stars aligned there. And so they were already planning a trip, so we just kind of helped put our organizational skills to good use and coordinated a visit for them.
Right. And now, is this open to the public?
Absolutely. So it is Sunday at Southern Hills Church at 2 p.m. Very low-key, casual, come as you are sort of event. And the family, we've had a few vigils here in pretty similar format, I would say, to previous events. The family just kind of wants to be here, pray, be near their boy in this unfortunate situation. And, if they have the opportunity just to thank the community for the outpouring of support that they've seen.
Right. In our community, we all fell in love with him. We didn't even know his name, knew nothing about him, but everyone fell in love with him. We really embraced it, and that's our community. We're very close when it comes to tragedies. We really do come together, and so I think that that'll be good healing for everyone, or at least like you said, on the path. It might, And for the family, I would think that this maybe be one more step in maybe hopefully a little comfort.
Yeah, I think so too. And they've been so appreciative and, have already kind of passed along their gratitude to our community. I think, to your point, Becky, now that he has a name and we've seen his beautiful picture, I don't know if you've seen it circulating, but what a beautiful boy. And such a tragic thing, but I think putting a face and a name to it definitely kind of helps some folks, to start to heal.
Right, yes. Well, Holly, Hoosier Helps, I think that was a blessing, and I think it's a God thing that, that everyone, the bridge between the family and you are bringing them here and helping them and making them have a place to come to and know that the community, and meet the community that that has been we've been hurting in the unknown too. So it's kind of, I guess, if you will, maybe good to bridge that everybody coming together in this.
I I think so too. And it's the extended family, so it'll be kind of a big group, and I'm glad that they kind of have each other for that support. But although it's unfortunate circumstances, I am looking forward to having them here and just showing them the love and support that comes from our small little community. So I'm hoping that it blesses them while they're here and blesses those in our community who might need just that little extra bit of healing, like I said. So, Hoosier Helps we're just Hoosiers looking to help. So whether it's natural disasters or if we're led in other places, we're always happy to help kind of bring things like this together.
Well, and you guys are always, it seems like a step ahead there, and always, reaching out and what can we do next, and what a blessing that we've got a beautiful facility in our community to open up to, and a large facility at Southern Hills.
Absolutely. The folks at Southern Hills really took this and ran with it. They've been so great in getting things coordinated and a few items donated to kind of make sure it's a nice, little event for the family. So, yes, we're definitely so blessed. We are a small town, but, sometimes you can really forget how blessed we are to live in such a wonderful community.
Right, and and they're very generous with their building. Of course, I'm a big believer in when you're giving a blessing, to share it, and Southern Hills definitely does that, and we're very grateful for that.
Yes, they've been wonderful. We always appreciate them letting us use their space and their facilities. So they've been an excellent partner to our group.
Right. So anyone that even if you live in another community and you share a lot of thoughts and a lot of and I think this has been heavy. He's been very heavy on a lot of our hearts, and I think that this is something that maybe will help everyone. So 2:00 this coming Sunday at Southern Hills Church.
Yep, and it'll be in the main sanctuary. It shouldn't take too awfully long. Like I said, it's more of like a prayer service. So, you're welcome to hang back, and if the family is up to taking guests and visitors, you're welcome to hang out and try to chat with the family. So we'll just show them the love that comes out of this community.
Right. And of course, we know the father will be there, right?
Yes, so we have the dad, we've got grandma and grandpa, we've got a few siblings, the aunt, so we definitely have a good-sized group. It sounds like they've got a good support from where they're coming from. So, it sounds like it's going to be about 11 people, I believe, so the good-sized group.
Well, Holly, thank you so much for the information this morning, and I'll definitely share. I know you have got it up on social media too, and I'm going to share that. I wanted to talk with you first and just kind of, let everyone know about it for maybe those that have not seen that, and remind everybody, at 2:00 this Sunday at Southern Hills Church. So, Holly, thank you so much, and thank you for all you do, and Hoosier Helps, you guys. And I know there's so many other, you guys have always, what are we going to do next? You guys are, I can't say enough about Hoosier Helps. You guys are fantastic. So.
Thank you, Becky, for having me on. I always appreciate your support, so thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Holly. All right, have a good day, hon.
Okay. You too. Bye-bye.
All right, Holly Lawson, they're inviting everyone, and that's a community invitation right there to come out Sunday for 2:00. And, of course, we all know how our community and, even the surrounding communities have heard about this, and it's been everywhere.
They came together. They took care of that child when there was no one else there to take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we all fell in love with him. Yeah,
has a place to rest.
Yeah. I think as I how you think about it, and you think as a family member, I guess this is somewhere you'd want to come. You know what I mean, and just see and meet the community.
Absolutely.
So, all right, that's at 2:00 this coming Sunday at Southern Hills Church, and I appreciate Holly Lawson and all that they do. Hoosier Help. All right, let's see real quick. We're going to kind of switch gears here, and something we always like to do is Friday. And Laura, we don't have football Friday.
It's no football Friday.
No football.
It's
Friday.
wrestling practice Friday. We'll start doing that, I guess.
Yeah, there we go. Wrestling practice. But we do have some basketball games this Friday. Let me make
basketball.
Eastern and Borden, and that'll be a big game. I said the other night, there's a thin line between Eastern and Borden.
True.
And you talked about, some great games, because Eastern always brings a great team, and so does Borden bring a great team.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be, it's going to be a good game tonight. So we'll be airing that tonight, so tune in for that. This is the 4th day of November. Today is Fountain Pen Day. Andrew, do you use a fountain pen?
No, ma'am, I don't.
What about you, Laura?
No, but I do love a good pen.
Yeah. 12 points.
I don't know, it depends. I
Mm.
don't know, I've got all kinds of good pens.
Okay. What about you? Do you have a certain pen you like?
I like a gel pen. Unfortunately, I'm left-handed.
Me too, and
Yeah,
it's all over your
that's hilarious.
pinky.
Yeah, look at you guys. That's hilarious. This is King Tut Day.
Okay.
And I fell in love with King Tut. Actually, when I was little, we went to Chicago, and they were doing the where they brought King Tut in for like on display. They had different, they have different, different, I guess, displays that come in, and
Like the traveling displays.
yeah, the traveling displays. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I kept figuring my
I
words.
was trying to think. I'm like, I think it's like
I'm
the
using my
traveling.
hands
I don't
this
know
morning,
what
so I
it's
can't
called.
remember. Yeah. But it is, anyway, and I fell in love with the whole King Tut. And anyway, as a matter of fact, I have a large King Tut.
Aww.
I know. Doesn't go with the decor, but it's there. He's just there.
Yeah.
This is also Love Your Lawyer Day today. Okay. Okay. All right. Ooh, National Candy Day. Andy, what's your favorite candy?
I like Snickers. The little ones, especially.
Yeah. What about you, Laura?
I like gummies.
Yeah.
I like to share them with the dogs. You know
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. You know what? Snickers really came in heavy this year for me too.
Yeah.
I am a peanut M&M girl, but for some reason there was not very many in my bags. It was more Snickers. Yeah. I mean, when in Rome.
The trick-or-treaters didn't get the peanut M&Ms or the Snickers this
No.
year.
Yeah. Well, they did
They
get.
were
Yeah.
missing.
Well, the peanut M&Ms. Were very, it was like, remember John Wayne, those chicken and dumplings will put your eyes out. And then Lynn Campbell said that, and they said, what? And they said, because you can't find the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for this. Watch it. Watch
Woo,
the movie.
squirrel, we done went down a hole.
Definitely. National Chicken Lady Day. Lady Day.
See, Chicken Lady Day.
What is Chicken Lady Day?
I don't
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
guess the lady that takes care of all the chickens.
Chicken Lady.
I don't know.
I don't know. That would be a title. Chicken Lady.
I
Okay.
don't know.
Ooh, National Easy Bake Oven Day. Oh, I had one.
Oh, I had one too. Those things were
I
terrible.
I ate a lot of brownies that came out.
Weren't those good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they would cook though.
Yeah.
White.
Oh my
Good light.
lord.
That's
The
exactly
light
right.
bulb took forever.
Yes. It'd be like, and I kept, like looking in, you know.
Well, yeah, and then it took 20 extra minutes to
Yeah,
heat that light
yeah.
bulb back up.
I remember, of course, going back to childhood, but having the whole table set and making like a little tea party, and then waiting on that cake, and all of a sudden the cake came, and I jumped up from the table, and I put the cake down, jumped up from the table, grabbed something else, and my tea fell on the cake, and so it was like a soggy cake.
You should have switched it to crackers and been done.
Yeah, really. I went ahead. I ate the cake. Okay. National Jersey Friday. National Medical Science Awareness and Appreciation Day. Hats off to science. And keep going. Keep finding out all that you can. National Skeptics Day. And use your common sense.
Now that's
Oh, it's a superpower anymore, right?
absolutely
Yeah.
few and far between.
Yeah, yeah. Use your common sense, right? Yeah, yeah. Do you think it's because we start second guessing ourselves so much? You know, like we know things and we know common sense tells us things, but then we start second guessing ourselves? I don't know. You think that-
I don't know. I think a lot of people have lost their common sense
They're
Absolutely.
since COVID.
COVID, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
People out in public.
Yeah.
What are you drinking? What are
Yeah.
you doing?
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I wonder if that's, part of it. I wonder, probably so. So those are the holidays. Get out and enjoy. And we do have the ball game. We will have the ball game tonight, so tune in for that. So that's our Friday excitement for sure. All right, let's jump in. And first of all, Andrew, I want to call you Andy Bush. Okay, that's what I want to call you. Okay, I'm sorry. I know
Call me
you.
that.
Okay, and I'm sorry, but I am so proud of you, and it couldn't have been such a better fit. And if they had called me and asked me, which they didn't, I would have said definitely the man for the job, and congratulations on your new position.
Well, thank you so much. This has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Finishing up the 30 years in the military, and the timing is just perfect with Kevin wanting to retire. Or he didn't know he wanted to retire until I told him I was interested in this job.
Oh, okay.
And it was, I think hadn't found the right person.
Yeah.
Is what I think. Excuse me. But we hit it off and hit the ground running. I actually don't retire from the military until 1 February, so I'm on what's called terminal leave.
Okay.
It's a transition period where, for most people, they're getting a job. Well, all I'm doing, I'm switching careers. I know I'm going to stay here. But the military has a program set up to where you have a chance to, still collecting a regular paycheck while you're trying to find your way. In my case, it's a little different because I'm at home. So yeah, I'm very excited. It's very overwhelming. There's so many programs and stuff that Kevin he just had it.
Oh, yeah.
He had it all upstairs, But
you'll get it too, though. Yeah, you will get it. I promise.
Yeah, it's just a matter of learning, but being able to continue giving back, been giving back to the country, our country for 30 years now. I've been able to do it closer to home, and 5 minutes from home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Literally it takes me 5 minutes. From the time I pull out of my driveway, I'm on the spot.
I love that.
And I love that office. It's in the basement of the courthouse. It was finished in 1888. There's so much history there. They've already taken me around and seen some of the historical stuff in the courthouse. Got a wonderful co-workers and stuff. So yeah, I feel home.
No, I love that.
That's awesome.
So proud of you, and and that's a huge compliment, and it speaks volume when Sergeant Bateman wasn't feeling comfortable yet until he found the right man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then he said, that's a hard thing to do.
Absolutely.
Especially you go back to a lot of people that have held this job. I think of the Lyles. They did a fantastic job. I don't want to leave I'm going to leave people out, and
I'm not touching it.
There's so many people that have done this and went to bat for, and I just know you're going to be that person, and so did he see that in you. So
yes, and beyond all of that, the support that the commissioners give to the veterans.
Yeah.
Like, the budget that Kevin was able to carve out over the number of years that he was there, every time he'd ask for something, justified to the veterans' benefit, the commissioners come together, and the community, the councilmen were always on the veterans' side, So it's so wonderful to have that kind of support coming into this.
Right.
And like I said, the pavement's already been laid, Kevin has definitely laid the ground, the big shoes to fill all the way around, with what he's done, what he does for the veterans daily, and just giving back to the community. And leading into this next piece, Veterans Day. This program, they're going to have a wonderful Veterans Day program, but the foundation was already there. Mm-hmm. The schedule of events, I didn't have to do too much. Kevin had this already laid out. So, and this is the first event I've had to do, obviously jumping right in.
Yeah.
So.
Welcome here to the job, and you have an event
Absolutely. Here you go.
Yeah. Well, and our veterans, and I love our community. Veterans mean so much in our community, and I think that's, and I think we know how valuable our veterans are, and we know, the sacrifices they've made, and we're very grateful, and we thank them so much for their service, and I feel like our county's very good at that.
Yes, they are, Becky. It is really neat because I've already had to go out and do some training in some other counties, other communities, and this community is definitely doing more for the veterans. Allowing us a budget to be able to, we have a vehicle dedicated from the DAV. I'm working very, very hard right now to get a second DAV vehicle. So, because we have like 4 private drivers who drive their own vehicles, which the VA doesn't like that, but we try to get every veteran to their appointments. Those who can't drive.
I was going to say,
do a fantastic job.
Explain a little bit about that. Yeah.
If you're either you don't drive at all or you can't drive in Louisville, of intimidation or whatever the case may be. There's a vetting system, but we've got a slew of veterans that are on that list, and when they get an appointment, they need to call me.
I love this.
And I put it in the books, and even if I've got, 2 or 3 going south, just the other day I had one was going north for a different kind of appointment. And so, I've got resources. I've got, like I said, four drivers. I'm trying to bring on another driver, and that's why I'm hitting up the DAV coordinator down in Louisville to frantically get me a second vehicle. Just because.
He's listening. Get him.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm hoping that we're close. What it is, we make all these runs, and we try to never say no. I mean,
Right. Well, yeah.
Somebody's going to Scottsburg, somebody's going to Seymour, and I got 3 going to Louisville. We got to make it happen.
Yeah.
And my drivers are with us. They're volunteer, but they do get a stipend that
Awesome.
the commissioners have allowed us to
Very
carve out of our
very
budget.
nice.
So it is very nice that we can at least say thanks to those
Absolutely.
to the drivers, because sometimes they're gone all day.
Absolutely.
Well, sure.
Because you never know when you get to an appointment, what is that appointment?
Mhm.
And then what if you get there and then they find something else?
Yeah.
You can't leave them. If you haul them there,
Yeah.
unless they get admitted or something like
Yeah.
that. And we work not only with picking up people from their homes, we also we've got several that are in the nursing homes
Okay.
that we can pick up. And
That's a huge.
Oh, absolutely.
the biggest thing, just for anybody out there listening, the biggest thing is the veteran has to be able to get in and out of the vehicle by themselves.
Okay.
That is one thing that is. There's other options if you can't. If you're a veteran that is completely wheelchair bound or whatever. There's another phone number that we can give that veteran a call.
Okay.
But it's and that program is totally paid for as well. And they'll come from Louisville or wherever, depending on where your appointment is. But it's contracted through the VA. That might be a van, it might be a lift thing situation. But our vehicles and the DAV vehicles what we have are, you've got to be able to get in and out by yourself, and it's sad to say it that way, but they have rules for a reason. That's so our drivers.
They're volunteers.
Well,
They can't touch them, and that's what we always. I try to tell people that I'm like they cannot put a hand on you. You have to be able to do it. So.
But the other thing is, some of my drivers, I've got one in particular. He's hauling veterans that are younger than he is.
Yes.
He just happens to be in, alert.
Fantastic help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say his name, a good shout out, because he's an awesome man, is Gene Hoskins. He runs to
Amazing,
Louisville
man.
5 days a week,
Oh.
and sometimes twice a day.
Absolutely.
He makes a trip in that vehicle every day.
And sometimes he'll have 2 or 3 people in there if they're all going at the same time.
And I've got some other drivers that are
Yeah.
coming on to, and they'll be just as
That's awesome.
fantastic as he is. So it's exciting getting his, like I said, this new job. And the first day I seen all this action, when I got training to go down to Louisville, I hit that guy up and I was like, I want another vehicle.
Yeah.
So day one of my job, I seen that we needed another vehicle.
Making demands. I love
so,
that.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
So I'm jumping right in best I can.
Oh, yeah.
You
You
know.
see the need, and and you have to ask. Sometimes just asking.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't realize it, and if you ask,
Yeah, the commissioners are like that too. Like I said, the way this job is set up, I have to go through the commissioners to do anything. And coming from the federal government, where I had 9 bosses, now I look around and I feel that I don't even know who to ask.
Yeah.
So but I start asking questions to the folks upstairs, and they're like, you want to bring something up, you got to let us know.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of ideas, so I know
love that.
they're all eyebrows raised whenever I come in. But I'm coming from an environment of we've been max ops tempo since 9/11.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I come into a county position that they're just like, whatever you need. The veterans is number one. And so our job, our goal is to always have that office open 8 to 4 Monday through Friday. Because I have a second person in there, Ricky Smith. He's been in there for several years. He's a part-time guy, but he knows a lot. So the days that I can't be there, he's there, vice versa. For the office, we try to keep the office open 8 to 4 Monday through Friday. obviously sometimes have personal lunch,
Sure.
on what we're doing or where we're running around. But, this is going to be an awesome, awesome deal, and I foresee me being in this position for a while.
No, I think so, and I think that's every day is a new learning. But I'm a huge a believer in everyone should have an advocate, and everyone needs that voice, and our veterans to have for you to be that advocate. To and like you said, going before the commissioners and asking, the worst thing they can say is not now. You know what I mean? And not that we want to hear that, but or how do we make this happen? You know what I mean? And that's what we've got, and because sometimes their hands are tied on things too. So we know that, but going to bat for them, for the veterans, and going before, people and saying, hey, we need another vehicle, or we need this, and we need this, or hey, because those are your people now, the veterans, and that's who you're the advocate for them.
Yes.
I think that's fantastic.
One of the things that I find, I don't know I can't find the word right now, but there are so many veterans that are not getting the benefit because they don't even know.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The number one thing, I'll tell you what I think will be the number one thing is we didn't know that we qualified for this.
Yes.
I hear it all the time.
And I knew that was going to be the number one, sentence.
And they keep changing stuff. Just a couple years ago, they would deny you for XYZ, or they passed new acts, which is acronyms, PACT Act. They passed that, and now people are like, wait a minute, maybe I do, So the education is starting to get out there, and we encourage people. You get that letter from the VA.
Yeah.
If you don't understand it, bring it in, let us figure it out.
Right.
Now I tell people, I don't work for the VA, I work for the county, I work for the county veterans, meaning, let me read the letter, let me try to figure it out. I've got some hotlines that I can call into the VA. So, I let people, because most of the time, by the time somebody comes to my office, they're frustrated
Absolutely.
to the end of the street.
Well, it is frustrating. And then especially a lot of times, they've got other things going on in their life, and they don't maybe, have the time to, and a lot of times you have resources that they won't have, and you'll know avenues to go down that they didn't know to go.
Yeah, and that's what we tell people when they come in. And they slam that letter from the VA down. Slide it over here. Let me look at it.
Let's see what we can do.
Let's decipher this thing, because I will tell you this: when the VA sends you a letter, once you get over being frustrated that they sent you a letter, if you read, it'll tell you need to fill this out. You need more evidence for this, or you need to fill this form out. A lot of people overlook that because all they see is, I got denied.
Right.
And so that's why they bring it to us, so I can sit there, as an outside party, I can sit there and look at it. I say, well, it says this form here. So I go to my computer and I try to figure out what this form is, and we figure it out together. And by the time they leave, I can usually have them smiling and calm people down.
Well, I love that. And it can be just something very simple.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah, but that's and it's a blessing that we have somewhere, because when you well, first of all, they've served our country, they've done they've done above and beyond, and then to get a letter like that and maybe not understand exactly what they want from you, and then somebody can help out and explain, maybe, because it can be something really silly and really tricky. Any one of us in the room here has applied for something or whatever, and then if you didn't jump through the right hoop,
and sometimes the veteran themselves is sick, and the family is trying to do it, and they don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. I mean,
right.
My husband's military, my son's military. I don't have a clue.
Right.
90% of it. I work in it every day is how I know to be able to help them. But
the biggest mistake folks make is when you file for something, that you have 1 year to complete it, or if you get denied, they'll say you have 30 days to do this, or you'll have a year to do this, and a lot of them will be like, well, I was sick, I was battling XYZ.
Well, sure.
And so, it's a lot of it, and I wish the VA wouldn't do that, but they're such a huge entity that, it happens. And so if somebody will come in, it's like, well, this is what happened. This was June. This was June of last year. So past June of this year. It's like, so sometimes it's a timeline issue. And if that's the case, you just start all over again. Bring all your stuff in and you just build your case again. So that's the biggest thing. There's three components to get a veteran. You got to have, something wrong with you. You got to have documentation from doctors, whether it be VA doctors or your civilian doctors, and then you have to connect it to the service. It has to be a service connection. So it's a three-piece puzzle kind of situation. And then when we submit all that, we submit that to the VA, then they have people that, supposed to come through that and try to determine, yes, it's service connected, no, it's not. Is there a rating? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. So it's a process, and a lot of times, even though you might go to your doctor, the VA will always want to examine you with their doctor.
Sure, yeah.
And that's all they're doing is verifying, So
Second opinions on that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we always ask for whenever we're doing a thing is, veteran, whatever. I'm looking for compensation and evaluation, another exam. Because maybe you decline me altogether, maybe you rated me, but you rated me 0. Rating a 0 is not horrible. It's just there's no compensation of that. There's no value other than it is saying that there's something wrong, but we're going to rate you a 0 right now. Then if something gets worse down the line, if you're deteriorating, whatever the case may be, then we reapply, and now they might rate you higher.
Okay.
So so even though you might get a 0 rating, some people get frustrated with that because they check coming with a 0 rating.
Right. Okay.
But a 0 rating just means that they have determined there's something there. Maybe it's something that's in remission. Because the VA likes to not pay for whenever you're in remission, but they will pay sometimes 100% when you are going through certain things. Or whenever it gets completed, your treatments or whatever, they like to put you back down to 0 or whatever. Everybody's situation is different.
Right. So how often? So let's say that there's a veteran and maybe they've been their rating was a 0. How often should they come back to get checked to evaluate to see if it changes? I mean, is that like yearly?
Changes.
Should they come see you?
Well, not necessarily. It's not an actual timeline. It's something worsened. If you now went to another doctor and they determined that it's gotten worse or a change, any change in your health that's gotten worse, you bring in that evidence from your doctor, even a VA doctor. Because just because you're going to the VA and that doctor finds something wrong, that you have to make the claim. You have to go and either make the claim yourself online at home, or you come and see me, or the folks that are closer to the bigger cities like Louisville, they can go directly to the VA. But we've got a lot of folks around here that what they do, they just come in to us. But, we've got all the systems. But you can do it yourself. You can get an account and log in and submit your own stuff.
Okay.
We're here for folks that need help. There's some people that are self-sufficient, but like I said, if you need help, that's why we're here.
Yeah, and that's what I think is such a huge blessing. So, are you finding like as a veteran, should they at least come and like introduce themselves and just kind of
Oh yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that? I mean, like and meet you. I mean, that I'm sure that you would welcome that. So
We need to do an open house for you.
Yes.
A meet and greet.
Well, we definitely have an open door
greet.
policy, but yeah, I've had several come through. I had a couple recently because it's tax season for property taxes. Come in, just want to introduce myself. I'm here to pay my taxes. I just want to introduce myself to you. I read about you in the paper, kind of thing. So yeah, I do get some of those kind of meet and greet right now as far as that goes. So it's not always a doom and gloom, but
no, and I think that's nice, and especially like just coming and introducing yourself, and then down the road if you do need assistant or something, and like you said, there's some that have families that can do everything on their own, which yay, but then you have some that need a little extra help, or a lot of times families might not know all of it, and you might have a different solution for something,
Yeah, one of the big ones is families, whether it be a spouse, a daughter-son situation, whether the veteran is still alive or is in a nursing home or has passed. They have a lot of questions, and we tell them to bring whatever you have, find whatever mom, dad, whatever, was not good at keeping papers, keeping track of papers. Some stuff I can get. The biggest thing, first thing we ask is where's your 214? If everybody knows what that means, that's your DD form.
DD214.
Yeah, DD form 214. That is where it shows if you were in the service, and that was your exit of the service. So, and some people have multiple 214s. Some folks are really good about keeping all the paperwork together, and others, maybe they were drafted and they were in the military against their will, and they don't, they didn't keep up with it because it was not a happy time in their life. Today's military is different. Today's military is, like I described myself to my grandpa. He went in against his will to Korea, and so whenever I try to talk to him about military stuff, we can't talk to each other because I'm in a situation. It's a job. I get to come home every day. Yeah, I get to serve and been all over this world, but at the end of the day, I get to come home at night and sleep in my bed. There's only been a few times that didn't happen, where his entire time in the military, he never got to be home.
Oh, right.
So when I hear these stories when these guys come in, right now it's a lot of Vietnam era is who I'm dealing with right now. Just because of the changes the VA has made, that they're now going to cover some stuff that they should have covered years ago.
Right.
We're trying. The VA is trying to take care of older veterans that they didn't take care of well early on.
That's sad.
So it's getting better.
Good.
Some are appreciative of it. Some are still frustrated and hanging on to I didn't get when I needed it. Or they didn't take care of me, and so now I have other symptoms. I have other diseases or something that if we'd have took care of it, back in the 60s or 70s, well, we didn't. We didn't as a nation. We didn't as a VA. We just didn't do it. So they're trying to make it right now. For some, it's too late. Some have gotten passed away before their claim goes through. That's sadness. I've not had that. I've been so new. I've only been there 30 days, but with Kevin being able to tell stories with me about when certain people come in, he knows the backstory. With him and Ricky being in the guards here locally, they were in the Army Guard here, all Atterbury, so they know all the Army Guard guys here in town. Where I'm in the Air Guard, even though I live around here, I know residents, but these guys, they know all the Guard guys, so they're like, oh yeah, this happened to him or whatever. So having a little bit of background, them sharing stories with me, and I might be a little better being able to move forward. Hey, we did figure this out, or they didn't take care of. So it is what it is. But it's definitely a learning. This is a job that you'll never know it all because there's so many facets of the VA. We're just talking about compensation. There's widows. There's a whole operation of that. There's a whole operation if you're unemployable. Not everybody in the military retires from the military. A lot of these guys do 2 years, 4 years, whatever, and they got beat up, back in the day, especially Vietnam, and maybe they can't work. So there's a whole needs-based piece of the puzzle. There's stuff out there for homeless veterans. There's all kinds of programs directly tied to the VA, not to include all the state stuff. You have a lot of local and state help out there for folks that need help. So there's people come to us for everything. And then I got to figure out who to call.
I always say, when Kevin was there, I said, Kevin's a one-stop shop. He knows which way to send you. I'm telling you, that's where you need to start.
Well, I think when you go back, let's go back, years ago with the military, and I'm not, my dad, was a Marine. There were so many that it was hard to talk about, and they didn't really want to talk about it, and so I can understand on your grandfather being this way, you know what I'm saying, and that you kind of felt that, and there were a lot of, maybe they didn't have the help maybe that we do today, and it's a shame, but it's hard. You can't go back. We just got to keep going forward, and this is what we have today. And if there is someone out there listening, and maybe years ago you didn't have that help, but let's just come see Andy and see if there is help today, or a new day change.
Yeah, a big thing that's changing when we're trying to do better as a nation is mental health.
Oh, it's everywhere. I mean, in everything we're doing anymore, everyone's trying. Yes.
It's very sad. I think the statistics right now is we lose 11 veterans a day, and that's sad.
This is heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. And I think that's something we've been discussing that here on Coffee Club, WSLM here. I mean, from every avenue, from everywhere, you know, from young to older, this, and they're really, you know, I know we've talked about they're trying to make it all around, kick the stigma of talking about it, you know, because so many times you wouldn't want to talk about it because you didn't want to, you know, it was one of those things that you just kind of kept to yourself about. But now we're trying to show that it's so important to do that and to have that conversation or be able to talk with someone. And I think, yeah, and I'm sure you're seeing it too, you know.
Yeah, like I said, you can tell sometimes when you get that phone call asking, you know, what is my spouse going to get if I'm not here anymore? It's like, whoa, now, you know, if you're so we've got phone numbers. You know, I'm obviously not a trained therapist. We have phone numbers. You know, if you're feeling anything, any way, shape, or form of that nature, you can call us, and we've got numbers of professionals that are all over this nation for that.
Oh, I love that. We need to really emphasize that because so if they do need someone to talk to, you have resources, because that's something too. Trying to find the resources.
Yes. Every number that you dial into the VA before you get to a human, you have all the automated stuff. The very first thing that comes on when you're listening, and you call that money, any of the numbers, is if you're feeling, you know, that you're going down a path or you're going to hurt yourself or whatever, to call this number.
Love that.
So it's on all the automated answering systems, and to include, we've got numbers that are directly to them places. And there are different ones for if you're active versus if you're retired veteran. Because when you're active, you know, at the bases, at the guard bases and active duty bases, there's different phone numbers and organizations. But then there's also organizations locally for older veterans. You know, people that are out of them. I keep saying old veterans because I see veterans that are younger than I am. You know, meaning not everybody does 30 years. You know, most folks that do 4 years, 6 years, you know, whatever the case may be. But I've come across a few of the veterans that, you know, because everybody's, well, I'm retired. Like, are you really retired? Yeah, I did 25 years. I did 25 years. Good, you know. But like I said, there's 2-year veterans. You know, but most of them, especially the Vietnam and the Korea, that was different.
Yeah. Yeah, a big difference. And I think, you know, I want to just, we'll go on to a different avenue, but I just, you know, we're talking about, you know, how, and we're trying to, you know, kick the stigma of it not being something that we should, you know, talk about maybe. But so we're talking about it, and we're trying to get, you know, if you had we say this all the time, if you had a hurt arm or hurt leg, you go to the doctor. So why would you not? If you have someone you need to talk to mentally, or just something, you know, a problem maybe that you just need to talk with someone about or something. So we talk about that, and this is what our big talk has been lately. But we're also trying to find those resources. That's the thing that I'm so happy to hear this.
Yes. Because
you can talk about it and tell people that, you know, but who are they going to talk to now? And that's where we need more people to talk to.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean,
the
we don't
resources
now.
are out there.
Yeah, but it is so great to
I
hear
think
that.
having the correct access to the resources.
That's where
I think we fall short. But you know,
Right.
You're right. The VA is fantastic about that. It's right there as soon as you call.
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah. And that can just, you know, sometimes just talking with someone can make a world difference. You know, so I'm so happy to hear that, and I'm glad we're telling that. So Andy, you've been working on the Veterans Day program. So can you kind of go over the format and what we're going to be doing on Veterans Day?
Yes, Becky. It's going to be very similar to what it's been in the past because Kevin had a heck of a roadmap here. One of the changes, and typically the Veteran Service Officer is the Master of Ceremonies. I made a decision this year that since one, I didn't have a real long time to find somebody to throw a speech together. I went ahead and threw a speech together.
I'm so happy about
So
that.
Delbert Ray, everybody in town should know Delbert Ray.
Absolutely.
He's got a wonderful voice. He's got the microphone voice. I don't. But he's going to be my master of ceremonies, and then just like we normally do, the scouts will do their thing with the flag.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a pledge of allegiance. Ricky Main has gracefully keeps stepping up for us through the invocation. Then we'll do a presentation of the colors for the American Legion, and we'll do that. And the ladies from the American Legion, the VFW, and the Daughters of the American Revolution will do their thing with the wreaths.
Playing the wreath.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll have I don't know how many songs we're going to play, but have a little musical. Brady Singers, Miss Norman.
Yes.
Yeah, we've not got to do that in a couple of years.
I know.
Sometimes Veterans Day falls on the weekend and we don't get them. And then obviously COVID has slowed us down, so we got lucky this year. It's on a Friday, 11 at 11 on the north side of the courthouse lawn. But then we go on down, and like I said, Delbert Ray will be the introduction. He'll do the introduction, and then I'm going to be the speaker this year. I've got a wonderful speech, so if anybody can come, I've got a wonderful speech. I had some help between the high school librarians, Lori Hazlett and Stephanie Blue, has graciously helped me put together a wonderful speech. And so then obviously the tribute of our fallen, so the VFW will do their thing, and then the American Legion should be Vern Humphrey. He'll do the taps, we'll play the taps, and then before they'll do a dismissal. Obviously, Wslm, as always, providing a sound for us, and then I'm going to have Delbert talk about the lunch. There'll be a hot lunch served at the American Legion down South Main there, upstairs at the. So, yeah.
And it is so good.
Yeah.
Those ladies can cook. Yeah. So good.
And then, in case of bad weather, everything gets moved to the Legion. Last year, I believe, is when last year it started raining just before it started. So everybody hustled back down to the Legion, which that's fine too. It makes it a little more cozy.
He's a little cozy.
It's a little cozy whenever, because you got because a lot of people that come to this to the courthouse, not all of them go to the Legion.
Right.
But there's one that can't stand, so they go to the Legion for a warm dinner and be able to sit down. So you have double duty.
Yeah.
So that's why when I say it's cozy, it was a packed house.
It was, and I was there, but they accommodated everybody. It was so nice, and just such a blessing to have the program. And I love this tradition of doing this. This has been something WSLM has been a part of, and I just it's just a tradition I don't ever want to stop. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, like I said, we've got a good, solid base here that Kevin has put down, and like I said, everybody comes together. Whenever I got the program from last year, I just went down and started calling people to confirm everything. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we'll rearrange. Like I'm just like, ahead and I'm going to do the speech this year because I'm going to have Delbert basically introduce me to the community, whoever's there.
Oh, I think that's wonderful.
And then I'll just go and do the speech kind of
I think
thing.
that's very apropos. But without telling and doing completely, with being the spoiler alert here, what are some of the, what do you think? What are you going to talk about? What are you going to say? I mean,
hot topics.
Yeah, no, because there's so many ways you could go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's interesting about this, I got thrown into doing a speech several years ago when before Kevin, Pat Rice was the PSO, and he had somebody lined out, and I think they broke a hip, something, and I had about 7 days. I think he called me and he's like, "Hey, can you do a speech?" And I was thinking, "Oh, for Memorial Day? You're gonna give me 6 months?" He goes, "No, next week." I was like, "Oh my!" So I threw one together, and it was nerve-wracking, kind of thing. And honestly, that was so long ago, I don't even remember the subject of that one. As far as this one, this particular one talks about how we thank our veterans.
Oh,
okay.
love that.
Yeah. So like I said, it's a good speech. I believe it's a good speech. I've got a couple quotes in here from two of the, I'm hoping more popular presidents, and I purposely picked both sides of the house so I don't have round running out picking the wrong party. But now I've got two quotes in here from two great presidents as far as people love them. So,
Yeah, definitely.
but yeah, it's interesting, and it's a short one. That's another thing I'm going to make sure that we do from this point forward is not make our county residents stand and listen to somebody babble on for 10 or 12 minutes.
Right. Well, I mean, I think it can, and we do, it is very good, but sometimes we can't stand that long,
Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to try to set a precedence of, a 3 to 5 minute kind of a speech, get your point made, and because most of the folks that come to these ceremonies are not getting any younger, and they're standing on uneven ground around the courthouse and stuff. So, so I'm going to try to set a precedence of it's going to babble on as far as, especially a bunch of acronyms, and the majority of the townspeople are not veterans. Some of these things, so babbling on about your unit or whatever. I'm trying to eliminate some of it. You got to say what you did, sometimes. But like I said, this one here is going to be about thanking the people before me.
Yeah, love that. Well, I think, and it is. I mean, and being, the spokesman, there's so many different things that can be said, so many different, so you try to get it all in, but I think 3 to 5 minutes you can get a lot said.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's good. And of course now that we've got the music with the Brady Singers back, that's going to be fantastic. And I of course we all in the room, Sarah Miner was our, we talked about that, didn't we?
Yes.
And, and you didn't go through Sarah Miner, which you didn't, you learned to respect this country, didn't you? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I would have to say that a seed planted for you to be the military man that you are would have to be Sarah Miner. Would that not? Would that be fair to say?
That would be fair to say.
You fell in love with the country. Yeah, when you went through her, when you went through her class, she had you fall in love with the country. But she explained things, and her detail was above and beyond. Was fantastic. So, but I think that that it's going to be, and of course we want to say that that's welcome everyone in the community, or even if you're listening and you're not in the community and you want to come to a veteran day program, please come to ours, and we welcome you. It's beautiful. Our courthouse is gorgeous. We have a beautiful lawn, and it looks just perfect there. So, also, let's go back over on your times, and again, where your office is located, for anybody listening, and your phone number. Okay.
Yep. So we're in the basement of the courthouse on the west side. It's a handicap entrance right there. There's actually a veterans parking spot on that side of the square. But you come in, the first door on the right, can't miss it. And we're 8 to 4, courthouse hours, 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. Phone number is 883-2063. So we're there. Like I said, the only time that we wouldn't be there or answer the phone is if helping another veteran, or stepped out for a meeting, or visiting a veteran at the nursing home or homebound veteran. That's one of the things that Kevin was doing. That slowed down during COVID, and we'll try to get that picked back up best I can. Being able to educate the folks that maybe they're not on the internet, maybe they're not watching all the stuff on TV. So there's a lot of stuff out there. But anyway, 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, 883-2063. Any questions anybody has, they can give us a call. I'd give you my email, but it's a really long email address, so if you want me to call me. It's not personalized. What we do, we make one. They had one for the office, and I'm going to keep it that way. After Kevin set that up for me or the other guy, we see the same email.
Well, and that's good, because for those that have been emailing you for years, it's not that change. That would be,
Yeah, it's horrible when you change emails. Like I said, I'm getting ready to leave the guards right now, and everybody knows me has my guard email, and they're just going to turn it off one day.
Yeah.
So that's a little scary. But no, but this new venture, like I said, we try to keep everything the same. Kevin has got a rock star of a base for me. Not only the programs, but the office itself, as far as how we take care of folks. All I'm going to try to do is take what he had and go to the next modernization, whatever we can do. There's new programs coming out, digital this, wireless this. So, there's more and more stuff coming that's out there right now. And I'm doing some of my training, state level training, and VA level training. But like I said, we take care of county business first. So,
Love that. Well, also I do want to make sure we know this, because we are so blessed to have Andy, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second here, but I want to say that we also, and it works just everybody working together with Meadowview to have that contract.
We are very fortunate. Most communities, there's so few VA service-connected contracted facilities, and we are one of the fortunate ones that have one in our community. I get referrals for Louisville patients because there is not a VA contract facility. We're the closest one, and it's very sad for the family. So I do feel very fortunate that we have that contract at Meadowview, and we get to work closely with you. We work with Kevin very closely. It's a amazing thing that we have in our community that is available to our veterans, that if they should need to come to a nursing facility, that it can be right here at home and it doesn't cost them.
I love that, and I think that's something that we just need to always advertise every so often more, because it is such a blessing, and it's very unique.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes we don't realize that this is here and available, and what a blessing in our community.
Absolutely. We're very fortunate to have it.
Yeah. And working well together, and you guys, I love that. I love everybody, I love everybody working together. I love the collaborating and just everybody, and what we're doing for our community, and that's what it's about. And, Andy, I'm going to embarrass you for a little bit, but I'm so proud of you. No, I'm really so proud of you. And you are young, and you're going to be with this for years, and I love that. And I think that, like you said, every day is going to be a learning experience. You're going to learn that things change. We know, in government, we know in everything, it's always, you have to stay on your toes. And I think you're just so perfectly matched with this job. I'm so proud of you on this. And I think that you're going to do wonderful. And I can see what Sergeant Bateman saw in you, and I can see that. And I think that we're very blessed to have this. And I hope and I pray that our veterans take advantage of this, and and utilize this, and come and see and meet, and maybe they don't need a service today, but they might down the road. So I would love for them just to come and introduce themselves to you, for you to get to meet them, and I'm sure you love that too.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate the kind words. But yes, we are there to help. Some people just want to talk.
Yeah.
There's folks out there that they might not have anybody to talk to. Give us a call. We'll figure it out. But yes, thank you for all the support. And like I said, I know coming into this, I've got the support.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And I love to hear that too. And that says a lot about our community. And about, and I think that's so important to have that, to have that support, and to, and I love that you don't ever stop asking.
Yeah.
Don't ever stop asking for things, right?
Well, I learned a long time ago in the military, especially during inspection time, when the inspector asks you a question, you're not supposed to say, I don't know. You say, I'll find out.
Absolutely.
And that's where I'm at right now. I feel that this piece of my, even though I'm transitioning to a new chapter of life, I have that because I don't know. But I'm not going to tell you that I don't know.
Right.
We're going to say, I got a phone number. I have a guy.
Yeah.
And that is the awesome piece of this job is I have a guy. I have a gal. I have a lady that I can call this hotline, and not only does a human being answer right away, always has the answer. And when the veteran is sitting there and has been so frustrated because they're not getting the right answer, I got him the right answer in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I had the resource
To do it.
You're the vessel. You're the vessel being, there,
so that is rewarding to me, of being able to, help that individual. Like I said, I've been in for 30 years. I was in logistics, where logistics is a customer service based type of a career. Somebody's saying they're going, hey, I need this to go out to the field, or I need this for them deploying, or I need this piece of this aircraft part. That's what I've done for 30 years, is be that customer service person. to make somebody happy at the end of the day, I'm getting them something. That's rewarding to me. So even though this is an administrative job that I've never really had, a job like this, but I have.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
that at the end of the day, you're helping somebody. They're asking a question. You're reaching out. So that's the rewarding piece of this job, is being able to continue that.
Yeah. Isn't it cool though that like you go back and your 30 years, like different things in your career and your life has happened and you never understood necessarily why, but then now it comes into play, and now it makes sense how come you were put in these positions and here you are today where you're at now. I mean, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it's definitely full circle.
Yeah.
And when I first got out of high school, I graduated Salem High School in 1991. Never dreamed that this would turn into this.
Yeah.
You know, when you're 18, 19 years old, you don't know what you're going to do. Even though you think you know everything.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing. So, and I still don't know anything. But all I know is I'm very grateful for what I have and have been blessed in life.
Yeah.
Didn't know I was blessed in life for a long time, but I'm very blessed with what's going on, and I just love the fact that I can still continue to give back to the community that I grew up in.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. Love that. Well, we're so happy and congratulations on your new position. I do want to say another congratulations to the lady in the room over here, Laura Lee. She is, and she just did her big graduation, and you are an official.
I'm an official LPN, finally.
Yay!
I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse. I did it.
We need a nurse.
Thanks.
We need a nurse. Laura Lee comes right.
One part is done. I still have another year to finish my RN.
You know what?
January 9th, that starts.
But I'm so proud.
Yeah.
She's
I
a
got
mommy. She
a
works,
lot of it done.
and she's going back to school.
Yeah.
And she's been hitting those, cracking those books. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Absolutely.
When she's not at the casino. With me. We had 2 nights, or I had a night anyway.
Yeah.
We were not at the casino with Desiree. We were actually there for an event.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want to clear, because someone said, did you do some gambling? No, we did not.
No, we walked through there.
We came, we ate, we had fun, and we left.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
Anyway, but no, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I've been your cheerleader
You
all the way
have
through,
been.
because I know you could do it.
Absolutely.
I know that those were some tough times and everything.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, friend. I appreciate that.
All right, let's thank our sponsors. this morning.
Absolutely. We want to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Purley Wealth Management.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, and happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Hi, I'm Becky White, and I'm running for a seat on the Salem Community School Board. I'd like to continue working for the best environment for our children to learn at Salem Community Schools. We've hired a new superintendent to guide Salem schools into a bright future, and we're going to be the only school in the Midwest to have safe rooms in all 3 schools, which will protect your children and the community. And it also gives us the ability to provide more educational opportunities for our students. I'd appreciate your vote on November the 8th to continue working for your child and for the community. Remember, vote Rebecca Becky White. Thank you. Remember when you had your birthday party at McDonald's, playing with your family and friends, enjoying cake and that one-of-a-kind McDonald's food and drink? If you're looking for a fun and safe place to have a party for your children or grandchildren, look no further. Party time is back at McDonald's right here in Salem, Mitchell, and West Baden. That's right, hosted birthday parties are back, baby! Call event coordinator Renee Lewis at 812-788-0126 to schedule your birthday for Salem, Mitchell, or West Baden today. The party includes food and drink for up to 10 guests, with your choice of white or chocolate cake ice cream for each child, a gift for the birthday boy or girl, goodie bags for each child, and a festive decorated party area. Parties at Salem allow children to play, while the McDonald's in Mitchell and West Baden will feature age-appropriate games. Let McDonald's make your child's next birthday party stress-free for you and fun for them. Call Renee at 812-788-0126 today and get your next party on the schedule at McDonald's.
Coffee with friends, family dinners, watching the grandkids play soccer on Saturdays, church on Sundays. Sounds pretty normal, but COVID is still there, and if you aren't vaccinated, you're still at risk. We're almost back to normal. Let's give it a shot. Call Hoosier Uplands Economic Development Corporation today at 812-849-4457 to learn more. Let's give back to normal a shot.
Attention seniors, Salem McDonald's has started Senior Tuesdays. Every Tuesday from 2 to 5, seniors receive 25% off their purchase. This offer is not valid with any other offer, and only between the hours of 2 and 5. There's always something to celebrate with McDonald's, with their fresh, hot breakfast, hot cakes, bacon, and eggs, and their bagel sandwiches to everyone's favorite Big Mac and Quarter Pounder. And birthday celebrations are back in Salem, Mitchell, and French Lick with Renee. Stop by today and find out all the great ways to celebrate with McDonald's. And don't forget, let your favorite senior know about Senior Tuesdays from 2 to 5. I'm loving it. Vote on...
Two men who warned you that soccer would destroy the country. Rick and Bubba.
6 minutes past the hour from the No Name Studio on the bleeding edge of technology. Brand new hour from Sweet Home Alabama to the world. The Elite Eight, the Elite Grade 8. They're here. That way it covers both of them. If you go Elite Grade 8, you get all of it. 8 guests now in the golden ticket seats to start the hour, and they come from all over. We're glad they're here. Did you tell Greg who you were? Yeah, Greg, guess who that is sitting second from the left?
I'm not sure.
Guess who his daddy is?
Well, Rick, I don't know. It's going to be better.
Rodney Lipton. No way. I told you. Ha, ha. He looks like Lipton, though.
Well, he's got that beard.
He does. He does. You remember the story I've been telling for decades about our concussion protocol to Aiden?
Oh, yeah.
It was his dad who answered the questions. Hey, what's your name after you had his bell rung? That's what we call it then. Now they call him concussion.
Right.
We called him got your bell rung, and his dad was sitting on the sideline. I can still see him as hell now. Remember that story?
Yeah.
I do. So what is your name? He looked at me and said, oh, it don't matter. Good player, though, but had knee injuries that kind of ended his high school career. But good player up to that point, and good guy. All right, so as we start the hour, everybody's here. We'll go back and pick up some of the things that we missed, but I will tell you this, Chris. I did Eddie Van Amber. I did email, just text your dad finally and said, phenomenal concert, choir in balcony offered. I mean, I think that's
better
better.
than what Adams was saying.
Is that, you know,
That's something. You said it better than I did.
yeah.
Did we ever get confirmation?
What did your dad think?
I've not heard back from him. He does have Fridays off because he works Sundays, so maybe he's just enjoying his life and not knowing that we're raising on.
You know how your dad is one of the kindest human beings on the planet?
Yes.
Well, he felt
But
getting raised though.
The situation.
The situation he got put in.
I'm raising him.
I can't believe he was in that situation.
Yeah.
But when I look at it, his face was a face of, can't believe I'm doing this.
Really? Here I go.
Yeah.
So
But you know what? He's a pro, so he did it.
When the choir showed up, did they know they were going to be on the ballot?
Yeah, I think
that's what I want to know.
Well, if I had listened better, and y'all know I don't, I think Charles was trying to prepare me for it.
I heard that.
I just didn't listen.
Start, and then you like cut it.
All I heard was they want our choir to wear a mask, and I didn't listen after that.
Right.
I didn't know it was
It
just
seems like you said, but we've come up with it.
Yeah.
And then you got up on the thing.
what I would have never thought it was that. I would not have thought that as the plan. I thought they had just, it's a really big stage. I thought they had just would distance them far enough away from the symphony that they would feel safe.
There might even be to a point you don't even see it.
Because, if you're the symphony, you don't want anybody singing that.
It might fall down on you.
But anyway, so so phenomenal night. A couple of awkward things, but it was great.
I thought it was over the line when the flautists put pantyhose over the edge of the flute. That was probably not necessary.
But watching people in the orchestra play with masks was interesting. Not all of them did, and very few did, but some did. And